This is lesson number 3 for Excel 2013. I'm going to go over some of the basics of navigating Excel and some basics of creating formulas within Excel. So the first thing, when you open up Excel, you have to know how to navigate through the cells. First, if you're within the matrix of all of the cells, you can use your arrow keys to move in the direction that you want to move throughout your workbook. You can use your up key to move up, your down key to move down, your left key to move left, your right key to move right. If you've entered in a value or text within a cell, you can also use your arrow keys to accept that value. Additionally, you can use your enter key to move down a row in your spreadsheet. Shift enter will move you up a row. Using the tab key on your keyboard will move you right through the columns of your spreadsheet, whereas shift tab will move you back or move you left through the columns on your spreadsheet. You can also use your mouse to point to a specific cell, or to select a cell, or to select a range within your workbook. So if you point and left click on a cell, it will make that cell active. If you drag and drop around a range on your workbook, you'll also make that range active. Additionally, when you're using your mouse, you can utilize the fill handle within your spreadsheet. So if you have a cell selected or a range selected, in the lower right hand corner of that cell or range, you'll notice a little green dot. And that green dot is called the fill handle. And you can, in fact, drag and drop it down to automatically copy a formula or repeat a pattern in Excel, and I'll show you that a little later. Additionally, if you don't want to drag and drop it, you can also double click the fill handle, and that's going to automatically fill the rest of a column or row with those values. Moving on to our formulas. One important thing to remember when using an Excel spreadsheet is that all formulas must start with the equal sign. Additionally, if you're calculating using your formulas, it must follow the order of operations PEMA. PEMA stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplication, and addition. As you noticed, I've left out division and subtraction here because division, in fact, is the multiplication of fractions and subtraction is the addition of negative numbers. The way that Excel handles math is that it treats multiplication and division on the same level. So instead of it being confusing, we'll just reduce it to division, and remembering that division is a multiplication of fractions. Additionally, addition is treated on the same level as subtraction. So therefore, if we remember that subtraction is the addition of negative numbers, that will help us. And what this means is when we're writing a formula from left to right, the program will go through that formula and first calculate all parentheses, and then it will calculate all exponents from left to right, and then all multiplication from left to right, and finally all addition from left to right. So there's an order to the way in which those operations are fulfilled or calculated within the software. Within formulas, we can use numbers, cell addresses, ranges, or variables. And to show you an example, you'll notice that in the formulas that I've listed here, you'll notice that we have numbers. You'll also notice that we have a bunch of different symbols as well. You'll notice cell addresses, and you'll notice ranges. And ranges are designated by a colon. And finally, you have what looks like text, but in fact, this text is designating a variable. So each of these has a different specific function, and as we move through the examples, it'll become more apparent to you what they do. Finally, there's this concept of pointers inside of Excel. When you create a formula, instead of having to type, say, A3 in your formula, you can in fact just take your mouse and point to the cell or the range that you want to include in your formula, and this helps to reduce errors.